There we go. So, welcome everyone to class 98, which is the biblical foundation, the book of Genesis, the book of beginnings. So, we are going to review last week's class, and that is we're reviewing the early part of Abraham's sojourning in Philistine of chapter 21. So, Haimunda, if you're ready, can you read Genesis 21, verse 19?
Okay. And God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. And she went and filled the bottle with water and gave the lad drink.
Okay, beautifully pronounced. Thank you. E abriu-lhe Deus os olhos, e viu poço de água, e foi encher o odre de água, e deu de beber a menino. Excellent. Okay, Edmar, can you kindly read question 1 in English?
How interesting that God opened her eyes. What what does this imply?
Beautifully pronounced. Thank you. So anyone is welcome to answer. Perhaps some remember from last week's class. So God opened her eyes. What does that imply?
Yeah, we were talking last class about this, right? That basically, from what I remember that I said last class is that she is not literally God opening her eyes, but making her realize that there is a well of water there. And we also discussed that the fact that it's miracle in itself, right? In the middle of the wilderness, in the desert, uh, they now have new water to keep going.
Yeah. Okay, so open her eyes has has the meaning of helping her perception, and maybe it was just a sudden miracle. Pedro, do you remember one other thing, perhaps, of what it implies?
It wasn't only the physical eyes that God God helped, but God had had done that Hagar has understood spiritually.
Yes, I think so. She's just gone through a moment of crisis, and she's praying to the Lord. And so there's a possibility that there's a spiritual opening also, not just a physical opening. Uh, Very good. So, Nicholas, can you kindly read Genesis chapter 21, verses 20 and 21?
Yes, and God was with the lad, and he grew and dwelt in the wilderness and became an archer. And he dwelt in the wilderness of Paran. And his mother took him a wife out of the land of Egypt.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Uh, e era, e era Deus como menino que cresceu e habitou no deserto e foi flecheiro e habitou no deserto de Pará. E a sua mãe tomou-lhe mulher da terra do Egito. Excellent. All right. You know what? And there is a state of Brazil in the Bible. So isn't that interesting? Uh, a northern state. So Lucas, can you kindly read question 2 in English?
Some say that the descendants of Ishmael, the Arabs, are the original Palestinians who always possessed the land. How does this verse undermine this claim?
Okay, very well pronounced. Two suggestions, Lucas. In the first line, And in both of these, the emphasis is in the middle of the word. So the first is descendants, descendants of Ishmael. And in the second line, I think you said possessed, but it's possessed. So the emphasis again is in the middle on this in this case. All right, so what do we think? So some say that the descendants of Ishmael, the Arabs, are the quote unquote original Palestinians who always possessed the land. How does this verse undermine this claim?
It's because this verse is showing another time that the descendants of Ishmael came from a little descendants of the Egyptians.
Exactly. So we know that Hagar was Egyptian, correct? And it's also saying it took him a wife out of the land of Egypt. So he's the Egyptian mother is marrying him to an Egyptian woman. They're all Egyptians.
Only by the descendants of Abraham, they were not Egyptians.
Uh, well, but here exactly. But remember, Ishmael also is a descendant of Abraham.
Yeah.
Okay, but his mother is Egyptian, and he was married to an Egyptian. So I don't see the word Palestine here, but that's okay. So let's move on. Uh, and
I believe that Palestine, just to in that context, I believe that you don't we don't see Palestine in the Bible because the name Palestine just became something way later that
yes,
is
yes,
the time of the Bible, right?
yes, exactly. But part of the Palestinians' claim is that it always belonged to them.
Yes, yes.
But that
Despite
doesn't,
not in the name.
yeah, but that doesn't seem to be the case because
Correct.
so, and we know that the Palestinian name was given by the Romans because the Philistines were an enemy of Israel. And so it was a pejorative name given to what is now Israel or part of it. Okay, so that's just getting a little bit of contemporary confusion. And the Bible clarifies much contemporary confusion with frequency if we look for the clarification. So, Pedro, can you kindly read Genesis 21, verses 22 to 23?
Okay. And it came to pass at that time that Abimelech and Phicol, the chief captain of his host, spake unto Abraham, saying, God is with thee in all that thou doest. Now therefore swear unto me here by God, that thou wilt not deal falsely with me, nor with my son, nor with my son's son, but according to the kindness that I have done unto thee, thou shalt do unto me, and to the land wherein thou hast sojourned.
Very good, very good. Uh, and there was one. Oh, yes. The second line, uh, you gave the modern word instead of the classical word, which is that thou doest, and you said more
Okay.
does. So you forgot the T. If there was no T, does is correct, but with the two T, we use this Old English doest.
Okay.
And let me try that in Portuguese. E habitou no deserto de Parã. Ah, a sua mãe tomou-lhe mulher da terra do Egito. Oh, that was sorry, 21. Let me start for 22. E aconteceu naquele mesmo tempo que Abimeleque, com ficou, príncipe do seu exército, falou com Abraão, dizendo: Deus é contigo em tudo o que fazes. Agora, pois, jura-me aqui por Deus, que não mentirás a mim, nem a meu filho, nem a meu neto, segundo a beneficência que te fiz. Me farás a mim, e a terra onde peregrinaste.
I have some suggestions.
Thank you, Pedro.
The first is with the name Pikol.
Mm,
The more likely form to us is with the emphasis in the end of the word.
okay, ficou.
And the last word of these two verses, it is peregrinaste.
Oh, thank you. Peregrinaste. And I see also I aired that there's a different accent over the parin of this. Not it's not para as in the
Yeah.
state in Brazil. Okay, so thank you for that help. So that was
Well,
a long
Yeah,
two verses.
there
Sorry,
is
Nicholas.
the difference.
Sorry, what did you want to say, Nicholas?
Yeah, that no, it's pretty much what you said. There is really a difference in the para from paran, and
Yes,
actually, it's different in the way you spell as well. The way you spell is different. The both ways end with a, but the accent that you use is different in the
that's
two words.
thank you. That's what I noted. When I looked a little more carefully, I didn't see that the circumflex accent.
Uh,
Okay, so number three. So, Raimunda, can you kindly read question three in English?
Why did Abimelech want to establish a covenant with Abraham?
Okay, very well read. Thank you. So, what do we think?
well, we discussed that in last class, and what we concluded was pretty much that the reason that Abimelech wants to establish a covenant with Abraham was pretty much because he was seeing that God was with Abraham, and he didn't want to be against God and Abraham. It usually is not a smart thing to do, like being against God. Usually don't result very well. And
Okay,
he also wants to protect not only himself but his descendants as well.
okay, very good. So, in a sense, he feared Abraham a little bit because God was with him.
Yeah,
He wants
Excellent.
an ally,
He wanted what, Raimunda?
an ally.
Okay, all right. Yes, it's good to have someone who God is with.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if he succeeds in doing that. So let's move on to the second page. And Ejimar, can you kindly read a short verse, Genesis chapter 21, verse 24 in English?
Very cool. And Abraham said, I will swear.
Very nicely pronounced. I like your deep voice for the word of God. E disse Abraão, eu jurarei.
I will swear.
Okay. Edmar has the voice of a pastor. Uh, so, Nicholas, can you kindly read question four in English?
recall that it was a very long process for Abraham and his descendants to take possession of the promised land. This history demonstrates what part was Abraham's responsibility during the process.
Okay, very well pronounced. Thank you. So, taking possession of the promised land was not easy, and it took a lot of patience. But what else are we shown here?
We can see that Abraham was, uh, first of all, trusting God in pretty much all moments from now on, and
Mhm.
also that uh, he was not uh, blind to what God was putting to him. Like God put to him a man to make an alliance with, and he took that to and not rejected it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think that's good. Another way to put that is Abraham needed to be diplomatic. Okay, so
Yeah,
God is with him, but he needs also to possess the land. And so you have to work with the people who are there, even though it all will be yours someday. All right. So, Lucas, our famous Bible verse reader, Lucas, can you kindly read Genesis 21, verses 25 to 26 in English?
And Abraham reproved Abimelech because of a well of water, which Abimelech's servants had violently taken away. And Abimelech said, I wot not who hath done this thing, neither didst thou tell me, neither yet heard I of it, but today.
Very well pronounced. Thank you.
Anymore.
And so let me try that in Portuguese. Abraão, porém, repreendeu a Abimeleque por causa de poço de água, que os servos de Abimeleque haviam tomado à força. Então disse Abimeleque: Eu não sei quem fez isso. E também, tu não mo fizeste saber, nem eu ouvi senão hoje. All right. And so, Pedro, can you kindly read question 5 in English?
Okay. When did Abraham choose to broach the subject of the well?
Okay. So remember, we said Abraham was being diplomatic. And so we're not certain. It's possible that the Abimelech's servants violently took away the well of water much time after the covenant, or uh, it could be that this verse quickly follows verse 24 in time. And if that's true, then what is this telling us?
well, it's telling us that Abraham was very diplomatic in the way that he approached this situation. That first he um, secured the covenant with Abimelech,
Hmm.
and then he brought the problem. Like, hey, there's also this situation that happened. How can we solve it?
Agreed entirely. And so that seems so it shows that I think most of us would be tempted to immediately complain about a well being violently taken away. But if the sequence of events is as we are assuming, then Abraham took another route, which was a very good one. It made it much easier to solve the problem after they had
Yeah.
already formed a treaty of friendship. Okay, so we're going to go on to new material, and we're continuing the study of Abraham's sojourning in Philistine. So Raimunda, can you kindly read Genesis 21, verses 27 to 28 in English?
Um, and Abraham took sheep and oxen and gave them unto Abimelech, and both of them made a covenant. And Abraham set 7 whole lambs of the flock by themselves.
Okay, very good. It's not a very common but still used type of lamb, and that's a ewe lamb. The
You lamb.
EWE is looks very eccentric, and it is. Uh, all right,
I don't remember seeing this was.
yeah, I think it's not very common, and I'm not sure it either means male female or maybe neutered. It's a type of lamb. And so in Portuguese, I think the word is clear. And let's see if it clarifies. E tomou Abraão ovelhas e vacas e deu-as a Abimeleque e fizeram ambos uma aliança. Pôs Abraão, porém, à parte 7 cordeiros do rebanho. Okay, so the Portuguese didn't clarify. Pedro, you had a suggestion?
It's only the end. It's cordeiras.
Oh,
So they are female lambs.
okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Uh,
Well,
and Edimar, can you kindly read question A in English?
A. This one.
Is this the same Abimelech of chapter 20?
Very good. I can see where Nicholas gets his talent with languages. Congratulations. Very well pronounced. Okay, so what do you think? Is this the same Abimelech?
Well, might be. I mean, pretty much, I believe so because when the covenant, when the Abimelech is proposing the covenant to Abraham, he talks about how he treated Abraham well before.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
from that we can see that Abimelech already interacted with Abraham in
True.
another moment in the past.
Okay, that's a good line of argument. But I will say it isn't sure. And that is partly because Abimelech is not necessarily a name, it's a title, like Pharaoh.
Yeah.
Okay, so Abimelech is like a title Pharaoh, and so it could be a different Abimelech. Uh, but so just to point that out, it's not clear. Uh,
It's not clear, but it may be because of
yeah, yeah.
uh,
Okay, so Nicholas, can you continue with Genesis 21 verse 29 in English, please?
and Abimelech said unto Abraham, what mean these 7 ewe lambs which thou hast set by themselves?
Okay, thank you. Very well pronounced. E Abimeleque disse a Abraão: para que estão aqui estas 7 cordeiras que puseste à parte? Uh, oh, and I think the ewe lambs we now know that means it's female lambs because in English lamb is neuter. You don't know if it's male or female, as you can know from the noun in Portuguese. Okay, so Lucas, can you kindly read question B in English?
Why give the lambs on top of the sheep and oxen of verse 27?
Okay. Well, Abraham is a very generous man.
Yeah, I mean, we probably will see better in the following text why the lambs, but uh, yeah, I mean, it has relation with the well of water that we're talking about right now.
Hmm. Okay. So Nicholas he is already has learned that in this class the answer is sometimes, not always, in the next verse.
Yeah, sometimes it happens.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead to the next verse. So Pedro, can you kindly read Genesis 21, verse 30 in English?
okay. And he said, for these 7 ewe lambs shalt thou take of my hand, that they may be a witness unto me, that I have digged this well.
Very well pronounced. Thank you. Hey, GC, Tomarás estas 7 cordeiras de minha mão, para que sejam testemunho que eu cavei este poço. Uh, all right. And so, Raimunda, can you kindly read question C in English?
Why is it important to confirm who dug the well?
Very well pronounced. So, what do we think? Why make such a big deal about a well?
I think
I
when you dug the well, you own the well.
Absolutely right, Raimunda. Okay, there's a
I
Bible
think
scholar.
there,
And Pedro, go ahead.
I think there's another motive. It's because the in that place the water was not abundant, so
Hmm.
so it was very precious.
Agreed entirely. Okay, both are good answers. In fact, let's look at the next question. Uh, Edemar, can you kindly read question D in English?
Uh, what so much care? Why so much care about a well?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so why? Why so much care and attention?
Uh, Pedro has just answered that. It's
True.
pretty much because it was a very arid region. It is
Yeah.
actually a pretty arid region.
Uh-huh.
So water is a very important resource there. And having a place where you can extract water is very important, but also uh, good for your domains, your lands,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay, so physically we know it's good for the people and it's also essential for the animals. So for the lambs, and think of it this way also, a well is a source of life. Okay, and now we're getting a little bit closer. Why are wells so important? Well, well, it's because partly water in the Bible is often associated with, well, with the
With,
the the Word of God.
yeah.
Okay, so the living water. We're already learning now in Genesis the importance of sources of water because we will come to know later the source of all living water. Uh, okay, so
Can
yes,
I comment
Nicholas.
something really quick? Yeah, it's something that I was when reading. I realized that it's pretty much interesting that even though Abraham knew that the the well was his his property, he didn't argue with that in mind. He basically bought it back from Abimelech, even though it was stolen from him.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
like he didn't want to compete against Abimelech for the will of water. Like he was like, no, yeah, okay, independent of if it was really mine or not, I
Hmm.
will buy it from you, and
Yes,
let's solve
yes.
it like that. Like,
Yeah.
very diplomatic from Abraham.
And I will agree with once he's not technically buying, but he is making another covenant, if you will, confirming that the well is his. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's not
so it's
buying per se, but it's pretty much that
yeah,
he was
yeah.
giving something to
Oh,
recognize it
agreed.
was his.
I agree.
So
I agree.
yeah, in that sense.
In the
Okay.
verse, say witness, right? When Abimelech asked about the all the seven,
Mm-hmm.
he said to witness that I dug
Mm-hmm.
this
It's true.
well.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
exactly. So it's Abraham's confirming that he dug the well, in a sense. So he's declaring his property rights. But for that witness, he wanted to, like, all right, so maybe you, Abimelech, were not there to see me dig the well, but I'm going to give you 7 female lambs as a witness. Okay, so again, very diplomatic, very generous. Uh, and so next, Lucas, can you kindly read question E in English?
Where is Beersheba lo lo located?
Very well pronounced. Thank you. All right, so let's just remember. And I know the names change, but where is Beersheba located?
Excuse me. I think we've jumped the verse.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, you're absolutely right. Uh, yep. And that's because, oh, I'm sorry, because Nicholas responded and I forgot to ask him to actually read a verse. So, Nicholas, can you
Okay.
read Genesis? Thank you, Pedro. Genesis chapter 21, 31, and then the next question will make more sense.
Wherefore he called that place Beersheba, because there they swore both to them, both of them.
Ok, very good. Por isso se chamou aquele lugar Berseba, porquanto ambos joraram ali. And so that gets us to Lucas. And Lucas just correctly pronounced where is Beersheba located. So let's answer that question now.
It's south from Israel, like from where is Israel is or would be Israel in the future. It's south from I don't remember for sure.
Yeah, I actually think we'll see in a moment that it isn't outside of current Israel. But back then, what are the options for what the land is called? So do you remember when Abraham was promised and he left the Ur of Chaldees, where did the Lord tell him to go?
To
Uh,
Canaan.
Canaan, exactly right. Okay, so Canaan is where Abraham first went. But wait a second, we are in a place where Abimelech is the king, and we know from the prior chapter that Abimelech is the king of what? The king of where?
Bathsheba? No, Bathsheba.
Well, no, but that's the new place now. But so it's so Abimelech is the king of, actually in the last chapter it gives a different place he's from, and we know that the
I
region,
don't know
yeah,
the correct name in English, but I think it's likely Gerar.
Gerar, exactly right, Pedro. So he's referred to as Abimelech, king of Gerar, and Gerar is in Philistine. Okay, so just to point out that, all right, to clarify a little bit, if the king of Gerar is in the region and Abraham is making deals and covenants with him, then we're likely in the king's territory, which is Philistine. Okay, so let's move on to Pedro. Can you kindly read question F in English?
Okay. Jacob and Isaac would also live in Beersheba. Eventually, it was recognized as being what part of Israel.
Okay, so this is just adding a little bit of context. So it is part of Israel, but it's known as Beersheba.
Iba.
Not part.
Well, the answer is somewhat in the next verse,
Okay.
and we'll take a look at that verse now because it's not clear. Well, why refer to the next verse as giving us a hint? So let's go ahead. Haimunda, can you read the mystery book, chapter 20, verse 1, please?
Is this salt? No.
Sorry, what's your question?
21. Is this Saul?
Well, no, but we're not asking what the book is yet, but you can go ahead
Uh,
and read the verse.
Then all the children of Israel went out, and the congregation was gathered
Hmm.
together as one man, from
Hmm.
them even to Beersheba, with the island, no, with the land of Gilead unto the Lord in Mizpah.
Okay, very good. So let me try that. Did I get the right? Oops, I forgot to put down the
Okay.
the book. Well, I will check right now. 1 second. 1 second. But you know what? Maybe we can ask Lucas, because Lucas often identifies books, the correct book. So, Lucas, do you happen to know what the correct book is? I found it.
I think it's
Say it again.
I think it's
Judges. Okay, excellent. Absolutely right. Amazing. Okay, so let me now go there since I was in Joseph by mistake. I'll get to the Portuguese. Sorry for my delay. Então todos os filhos de Israel saíram, e a congregação se ajuntou perante o Senhor em Mispá, como se fora um só homem, desde Dan até Berseba, como também a terra de Gileade. Okay, so this is a common phrase actually, from Dan to Beersheba. And this is its first use in the Bible, Judges 21. But then why is that phrase used commonly and what does it imply? If it's Dan to Beersheba,
It would be from one limit to the other, like from one side of the territory to the other.
ah,
So it would imply that Beersheba, well, Dan is a tribe of Israel. So I think we can imply that Beersheba was not only uh, at the very end of Israel,
mhm,
but
mhm,
also a part of it, at least for a
yes,
time, because it's the way that is described is including Dan, obviously, because Dan is a tribe, so it has a territory inside of Israel. Therefore, Beersheba would be a place inside of the
agreed,
of Israel.
agreed. So where is Dan? Does anyone remember? Is Dan south, north, east,
In
west?
the
In the north, absolutely right.
north,
Okay, so Dan to Beersheba implies that if Dan is in the north, then Beersheba is?
Far south,
Yes.
south we
Okay.
go.
So in other words, it's the southern extremity of Israel. All right. If you
Yeah.
look today, Israel actually goes further south. Uh, but so at least at the time, Beersheba was at the southern edge or extremity. Okay. So, Edumar, can you kindly read Genesis chapter 21, verse 32 in English?
This they made a covenant of Bathsheba, and Abimelech rose up. That bishop the chief captain of this of his lost
Host.
host, and they returned into the land of the Philistine.
Very good. Now, in the same way that Philistines starts with a PH and it is pronounced like an F,
The
Philistines, the word in the first line is probably FICO,
cycle,
okay? And we'll
cycle.
see in the Portuguese that the Portuguese is fairly close. So, assim fizeram aliança em Berseba. Depois se levantou Abimeleque e ficou príncipe do seu exército e tornaram-se para a terra dos filisteus. Okay, and so again, we've been it's been confirmed that we're in the land of the Philistines. Okay, so Nicholas, can you kindly give us the last question of this evening's class? Question G in English.
What does Beersheba mean?
Okay, so among our Bible scholars, what do we think Beersheba means?
From the context of the text, I will assume it's something like place of the covenant, place of the something like that along these lines.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Raimunda.
Oath, né? That we
Exactly right. Exactly right. Which is really a synonym to covenant, but oath is we believe it's land of the oath is what Beersheba means. And just to show how complex and interesting Hebrew can be, it also the Hebrew, remember in Hebrew, the consonants are all that are written down. We don't know what the vowels are between the consonants. And so it's sometimes open to interpretation when you add the vowels in and you come to the fuller word. And so and it also means land of the seven. Interesting. Okay,
Yeah,
so
makes sense.
yes,
I,
yes, Pedro.
I, I like to find the meanings of the words in Hebrew.
something is
I just read right now that here, there, the beginning of the Shabbat is where.
Pedro, unfortunately,
So
your microphone is malfunctioning. So you broke up the whole time, unfortunately.
I, I just read
Yeah,
in the book
no, I'm afraid it's
the
still,
word.
yeah, we still can't hear you. So sorry about that. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm afraid you'll probably need to restart your phone because the
Okay.
microphone sounds horrible. Okay, so I think he left. But he'll come back in a moment, but let me ask, since we just covered the last question, any questions or comments in English?
Well, I think the only question was what was Pedro trying to say? But yeah,
Exactly.
uh, yeah, but jokes aside, I don't think so. If we cover pretty much everything from this text.
Okay, very good. Well, then I'm going to stop the recording and then we can get to English and see if Pedro comes back with his microphone working. So thank you all for participating who are watching online or later.